So because we wanted to follow the law, and I like South African media because you tend to understand now the law, that you can't be talking about things that are still in court, especially when individuals have not been charged. So in this case, we approached the NPA, an affidavit was prepared, and we submitted through Interpol in order to request the authorities in Swaziland to help us catch these two. These two were arrested on Saturday morning in Swaziland for other cases, as I've spoken about, including the one that we're talking about. However, when we were talking about the other parallel cases, it's simple because we did not want to scare the very last two that we're still looking for. We had warrant of arrest for the last two, which is the main guy that without him, this case would not have been strong. We needed to get that one behind bars. So after getting these two on Saturday, we're told that they found them. We did not communicate that, as has been the case throughout, that you're not communicating it. We did not communicate on Saturday. We did not communicate on Sunday. On Monday, we had on our position a warrant of arrest of the last two. Unfortunately, the news broke out. So when the news broke out, the very last suspect we're looking for went on the run. Because the news...
So Mzansi, the Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General NHLANHLA Mkhwanazi, did give a media briefing after he even posted to WhatsApp denying that the two suspects had anything to do with the AKA murder. But knowing the people of Twitter, they went to Eswatini Times and they went after them for breaking the case or spreading false news, because we know how Twitter users are when it comes to fighting battles. But the Times of Eswatini said, I said what I said, and this time they posted the actual court documents. Meanwhile, Bheki Cele and NHLANHLA Mkhwanazi stand on the podium and give us false information about their operation and that they were only arrested for other murder crimes and charges. Eswatini Times comes back and said, we said what we said, and here's the proof to show you that South African Police Services is playing with you. And this is some of the stuff that reads in those official documents. Well, I don't know much about the law, but I do know how to read. And remember, Bheki Cele said that they were arresting them for other cases and not being charged for the AKA case. Well, have a look at this. The three accused are suspected on Berea case number 85, which Bheki Cele said already. Now, as you continue reading this explains why Bheki Cele was laughing the entire time during that briefing. It goes on to say, during February 23, Kiernan, Jarad, Forbes, the first deceased, a prominent musician, was hired by Pilani Benny. I cannot take South African Police Services seriously. Yet again, they stood at the podium and lied to us one more time. And Times of Eswatini came back with the proof, and this is really, really disappointing. I think if they would have been better going without doing the press conference completely than to come back to the press conference and lie and say that they didn't arrest those two for Kiernan's murder. They arrested them for something else. And then now we find in written documentation submitted to the court that it actually is for Kiernan Forbes. Well, again, we can only wait for court to begin, but it looks like this case, though, is moving faster than the Senzo Meyiwa case, which just reached its 10-year anniversary. You already know, as the saying goes, South Africa is a movie, and we can only wait for tomorrow to find out what actually is going on, because nothing, well, at least what Bheki Cele and NHLANHLA Mkhwanazi announced is not entirely true, with a lot of omissions that they left out. So let's wait for all the details tomorrow. What are your thoughts on this? Should Bheki Cele and NHLANHLA Mkhwanazi have done the press release, or should they have just continued being quiet as they have since April last year? Because Eswatini, Times of Eswatini is not letting go. They released the proof so that, backing up their original statements. Now, if you remember, after AKA had been murdered, there was a lot of speculation when the video of the actual shooting was released, or should I say leaked, and after watching it, it appeared as if Don Design, AKA's friend, was actually one of the spotters, because he is seen raising his hand, which seemed to look like he was indicating to the shooter about where AKA was. There was a lot of uproar about about that. People saw him at the funeral and were quite confused. AKA's mother said while she was giving her speech that she loves Don Design, but in the meantime, Nota over there by the Twitter was fighting real hard for AKA and justice for AKA and pointing fingers allegedly at Don Design. But as time would have it, Don Design is not, and I repeat, not one of the arrested individuals. As you know, Bheki Cele and NHLANHLA Mkhwanazi did not release any names. Don Design is definitely out and about, as he has posted to Instagram another Instagram post proving that he is not in custody of the South African Police Services. Your thoughts on that, Mzansi? Does Mzansi, or should we say, does Nota owe Don Design an apology for his insistence on his involvement in AKA's murder? That's it from us today. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video so everybody knows what exactly is going down with Bheki Cele and NHLANHLA Mkhwanazi, and what game is this that they're calling, because it is not giving professionalism, because they gathered the nation and lied again, allegedly.
The first arrest, or perhaps maybe before I explain the arrest, before the questions, the strategy that we employed was that after identifying these 6, we're going to look for parallel cases that they are involved in, and we're going to arrest them on those cases and keep them in custody, but don't charge them on the case that we're investigating, the main case 85 of February last year, which happened in Florida. So the reason for that is because we wanted to make sure that we get almost all the suspects, especially the organizer of the hit. So after identifying everyone else, and we could realize that of the 6 suspects, at least 4 of them, we have parallel cases that we can link them with. So we started pursuing those parallel cases. One of them was the case that was talked about in the media, where we went to Cape Town and we arrested someone in Cape Town. I'm sure you might have heard about it. We brought them back here. We charged a person on a parallel case, but the very same person was linked to this case, but we didn't charge him on the case. So we went on with the rest of these arrests that we effected. The first one being the 22nd of April, where the organizer of firearms and vehicles, the person who was renting this out, was arrested and was charged on different cases, as well as most recently is now been linked to this one of case 85. On the 24th of October, that's when we effected our second arrest. This was a spotter who was arrested, also being involved in murder in another case that happened, except the one that we're talking about. On the 14th of December, we arrested the third suspect. And that suspect was also linked with another murder case that happened in Mzansi, including, but we did not charge on this one that we're talking about today. On the 24th of February, maybe let me explain this one. After identifying the 2 suspects that we're looking for, after chasing them the whole year, we found the house where they were hiding in Swaziland. So through information, we could spot them, and we got informers to tell them and give us their photos, and we could confirm they were about. So
but the question, I'm sure, will come to an end. When are you arresting the killers of AK? And I hope South Africans will have a better sleep after that. Thanks.
Well, there you have it, Mzansi. Although NHLANHLA Mkhwanazi and Bheki Cele insist they didn't charge them over there in the kingdom of Eswatini for the murder of AKA, but the Times of Eswatini produces official court documents with AKA's name in there. So, what exactly should we be following? Remember, elections are coming up this year. Remember to note that down, because, well, the SAPS is playing games, and while we're looking for justice. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We absolutely love it when we see you like our videos. Thanks for watching. Catch you on our next upload.